I am starting out this video at the top of 21st Street because I'm going to be hiking up in to Hidden Valley up there. This is a kind of a scouting mission because that's where I want to camp overnight in the wintertime. Now I've been to Hidden Valley before, but only in the summer. Been up here several times. In fact, it's one of my favorite hikes. So right now, wearing some spikes, but I am packing some snowshoes just in case. I don't know what the trail's going to be like up there, but I just wanted to be prepared just in case. It is extra weight, and I've put on extra weight, so this is really kind of like a conditioning type hike. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, in my last video, I camped out in my backyard to test my winter gear, and I found some deficiencies. So in this video, I'm just going to test what it takes to get up there, what the resources are like, and if it is somewhere I could spend the night comfortably. So that's what I'm doing now. But it was just raining here for a minute. It did stop. We might get some more rain, but it quickly passed over. Also, avalanche risk is pretty high. I don't think it is in this area. In fact, I called a buddy who's on search and rescue, and he said that, or he used to be on search and rescue, and he said that he wouldn't be too concerned with this area, especially once you get up into Hidden Valley. And he sent me a Gaia map to kind of show. So I'll pop that up on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. But the red area is areas where the slopes are greater than 30, and that's where you get into the danger. But just looking up at the mountains, you can see that there's plenty of vegetation. Obviously it's taking these cliffs into account, but there's not really any avalanche chutes here. And another thing he said was at this low of elevation, it's not as much of a risk as it is in higher elevations. But we'll see. I'm going to play it safe. Definitely want to be safe up there, so we'll go check it out. Hey, so future Tim here. I forgot to mention the buddy who told me, about the avalanche danger and that I kind of consulted with before coming up here. He actually has his own YouTube channel. It's called Average Joe Outdoors, and I'll be sure to link it down below and also pop it up in the corner, probably over here actually. And go check it out. He's just getting started. He does gear reviews, backcountry stuff, how-tos, and a lot of tips and tricks. And he's just about to take off to Japan, so there's going to be some awesome footage coming out of Japan. So thank you, Chase, for your sage wisdom. I made it up here safely, and he gave me some confidence to do so. So go check out that channel. All right, back to Past Tim. So currently I'm on the Indian Trail, and this was actually an ancient trail that the Native Americans used to use to get up over into Ogden Valley, because Ogden Canyon is super steep and narrow. So they took this high route. I'm going to be turning off up here in a little bit to get onto the Hidden Valley Trail, which takes us up into there. So I'm still up here on Indian Trail. That's pretty steep right there, but I'm not too concerned. The trail is pretty worn, and it's a popular trail. Plus you have all this scrub oak above me, or maple, or whatever that is. And it's dense, so the snow's holding. Nothing to be too concerned about here. I mean, it could happen, but I want to see if I can do this little experiment with the measuring tool on my phone to see what 30 degrees actually looks like, or greater. So I'm going to put my phone in the snow here, and this looks like we're at about 17 degrees. A little bit higher because there's a rock right there, so it's not the most accurate measurement, but a little bit higher. We're looking at like 24 degrees. So we're still good. To be honest, I thought it'd be steeper than that. And that's like a rough measurement too. Up there could be more, down there could be more. But it's good to have an idea of what you're looking at there. But we're just about to get off onto Hidden Valley Trail. So it's funny how different everything looks when you're doing this in the wintertime. I was literally like 10 feet that way, and I checked the map to make sure I didn't miss the Hidden Valley Trail, but I'm standing right on top of it right here. So I just had like 5 steps to go before I got to it. This is encouraging. It looks like there have been plenty of people who have gone up this way. So I'll just keep an eye on the trail and see how it goes. But this is my view. It's awesome. Also, I can feel the long laziness of winter, but this is good. Get some blood flowing through my veins, burn some calories, and we'll just see how I feel. This is not an easy hike in the summer, so doing it in the winter is just as bad, if not worse. Check that out. There's a little rodent home right here off the trail. See how they have it nice and padded with leaves, and probably just hit this trail to find whatever they can. I don't know what that would be. If you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. But I was just about to take off my rain jacket and it started misting again. So temperature wise, I'm fine. It's just, I don't want to get too wet without waterproof gear on. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that. Definitely, it's like a mist. Nothing too crazy. Another thing too is I'm not hiking as fast as I normally would. I'm trying to conserve energy, because if you step off either side of this trail, you can see someone did it right here and there. You post hole, just that drop and having to pull yourself out is a waste of energy. So I'm just trying to walk like this beam of compressed snow. But I'm in the area that would be considered at risk for avalanches, but with these trees and stuff, it's not really a concern. So, but I'm still staying vigilant, so always got to be on the lookout. So I'm in this little gully right here, out of the wind and the rain. I think as I'm getting higher, it's turning into snow, which is nice because then it bounces off. But yeah, I've hiked only about 600 feet in vertical elevation, and over the course of a mile, but it's wearing me out. I mean, part of it's the snow, part of it is not hiking as much as I used to. But I'm wondering if I should take a little breather. Then if I do, well, I want to put my pack back on. Plus there's nowhere really good to sit without getting wet. So I don't know, I'm going to trudge on for a little bit more. I kind of have this hike broken out into different sections. I don't have any like names or terms for them, but obviously there's the Indian Trail portion, then you turn off to Hidden Valley, and there's your first few switchbacks. And then you come through one tree tunnel, which I'm in kind of right now. It's more of a tunnel in the summertime. But then you hit the first lookout. Then you do another tree tunnel, and that area is steep. I'll try to remember to point it out. And then you come to your second lookout, and that's where you turn off into Hidden Valley. So it's just kind of like mental checkpoints. But this is what I'm hiking through right now. Very beautiful. Nice to see some evergreens. Hopefully I can find some dry stuff. But yeah, you can see how this is somewhat of a tree tunnel. I'll keep trudging. I forget how long this hike is without looking at a map, but I want to say it's like 2.5 miles one way. And I've only gone about 1. I did start my workout a little late, so I could be a little bit further than that, but it's a good, decent hike, that's for sure. I'm at the first overlook, or what I call the first overlook, and so I thought this would be a good chance to take a little breather. Also, I took off my rain jacket there just to dry off a little bit. It's actually pretty warm. Let's see what the temperature is. So 41, cloudy. One thing I don't like to see is it's saying at 3 o'clock it's going to rain. 2 o'clock, 80% rain. I don't really see that rolling through yet, but so I'm going to be cautious about. So far it's just been like a little drizzle. But maybe it's coming up and over, I don't know. But out here looks, I don't really see any fronts or anything. that weather app's pretty accurate. Anyway, just gonna take a breather and then keep on heading up the trail. I kind of got in the zone, and before I knew it, I was already at this final steep part. This is the final push before you turn off into Hidden Valley. So I should be up there before I know it. I've been hiking for an hour and 20 minutes, you know, with breaks and stuff, so not bad. Here comes somebody. I just came up that, pretty steep. I just came across a nice guy named Sam. He's always up here. He will tell me some cool stuff about some hot air coming out of some cracks in the rocks and stuff like that. I've seen it before. In fact, I have it in one of my videos. My friend went to climb down in it and a rattlesnake was going off, so we didn't explore it that much. But yeah, he was telling me all sorts of interesting stuff. I told him my goal was to sleep up here one night, and he told me where a good little campsite is. So I don't know if I'll make it up in there on this hike, just because I got a late start, but it was nice to talk to him. Plus, I'm grateful because he kind of blazed this trail today, so thanks, Sam. I doubt you'll come across this video, but if you do, thanks for the info. It's kind of the final push. I know I keep saying that. I don't know if you'd believe me if I told you, but I just came across a guy and a girl who, the dude was wearing short shorts, and they must have been doing some ultra stuff. He kind of told me the route that they were taking, but he says it's pretty tracked out up here, so should have left my snowshoes behind, but oh well. Nice to know that I can get up here with them, because there'll be areas that I want to go that probably don't have a tracked out trail, so just good conditioning. But anyway, we're almost to the second lookout, and then it gets pretty easy from there. Then I'll kind of bum around for a minute and make a snack and head back down before it gets dark. Made it to the second overlook. It's just down beyond there. Again, I'm not going to hike out to it just to save energy. That last part kind of took it out of me, so I'm just chilling on this patch that doesn't have any snow. Probably making my butt all muddy, but oh well. But yeah, this is the final push into Hidden Valley. But the snow's getting kind of deep here. There's not as much of a trail. I don't know if I should throw on my snowshoes or not. The people I passed didn't have any on, so I'll keep trekking, I think. Yeah, just gonna catch my breath and then make it up in there. I might not go all the way to the point. I just kind of want to find a shelter area and start a little fire, make a little snack, and then head back down. And then, you know, kind of scout, just get a feel for what it's like up here. You know, what it's like carrying gear up here, and yeah, just want to see what it's like in the wintertime, really. I love this view. Looking straight down 24th Street. So we just have up in there to go, and that's Hidden Valley. Okay, I'm officially up in the valley, and instead of rain, it is snowing up here. I can tell up a little higher it's pretty windy, so I'll probably just stay down here in the cover of the trees and hang out for a minute. But yeah, it feels good to be up here. I've never actually been here in the dead of winter. I've been here in the springtime when there's still snow, but it was nothing like this. Most of the trail is uncovered. But yeah, it is quite the excursion. Now at the end of the trail tops out at an overlook down into what's called Taylor Canyon, and then if the skies allow, you can look onto the peak of Mount Ogden. We'll see how I feel if I'm gonna head out that far too, but right now I'm just gonna trudge along and find a good little hangout spot, get some calories back in me. So I've been collecting some sticks along the way as I try to start getting serious about making a fire. It's pretty wet. That tree was wet. There's some dry fibers on the bark, so I have this bark here. I'll see if I can make anything of that, and then you know, if the fire ever got big enough, it could dry out this bark and ignite, but I don't plan on staying up here very long. But just kind of seeing what my resources are to do this. I'm just kind of looking for a nice area to chill, and then we'll have some fun. Okay, so I'm barely off the trail. If someone walks by, it'll be kind of awkward me pretending to be a Boy Scout back in here, but you know, maybe I'll offer him a sardine or something. But I got my pile of sticks there that I'm going to use. Not a huge pile because, again, not staying very long. Didn't need my snowshoes getting up in here. I might wear them on the way down just to see what that's like. Get a feel for them this year. And also I can set stuff on them too, so it makes a nice little table so my backpack doesn't get all soaked. But I am out of the wind, which is nice. It is snowing a little bit. I didn't bring anything to make me a shelter overhead, but I'll just hang out here and have a good time. One thing though is a friend of mine posted some security footage from his backyard, and he lives lower into the city than I do. And there was a mountain lion and a cub in their backyard. So would hate to come across that. Hopefully it's down lower chasing the deer. I haven't seen any deer up here. I've seen a lot of deer tracks though. But that wouldn't be a fun thing to think about if I was sleeping up here all by myself. But odds are very low that anything would happen. All right, since it's not too cold right now, I'm gonna use my mittens for something to kneel on. Also have a down jacket here, but since it's not too cold, I want to try starting some water boiling and getting some hot chocolate, and then also some chocolate electrolytes going. So I'll start with that. Got my trusty beavercraft knife that I talked about in my last video. This time I'm gonna try hard not to cut myself. Also, I did bring some band-aids. Gotta find some clean snow. Takes a lot of snow to make a cup of water. I also didn't drink very much water hiking up here, so I can use some of my water bladder to help speed things up a little bit. Try not to make a huge mess here. Kind of like this spot for a fire because that's uphill right there, and so I can sit on one of my snowshoes and have a nice little fire right here. So I'm going to try to make this as even as possible. Plus the boughs of the trees are high enough for the fire that I'm going to build that I don't have to worry about catching anything too crazy on fire or anything at all really. But I'm just excited for a warm drink, and no matter how clean the snow looks, there's always going to be floaties. So while I wait for the water to boil, I'm going to eat some sardines. I made sure to keep the cardboard packaging on there because that's going to help me start a fire. And I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see if that olive oil also works as an accelerant to start a fire as well. And then I can use this little metal tray to get the kindling going. So this is a good handy thing. It's a great snack, and you can use the tray for a utility. It's a shame if you're not a sardine fan because they're delicious. Some nice sticky water. So this is what I brought for dessert. Some raspberry hot chocolate mix, and then also I got this Element, which is an electrolyte, but it's chocolate flavored. You can drink it cold, but it's a lot better warm. Now I have mixed these before, but I think I'm going to do one and then the other just to keep my body temperature up. And while I'm drinking one, I'll have more water boiling for the other. So I think we'll start with that one first. Mix my hot chocolate here. Some good stuff. Oh, that's hot. So there's a couple of challenges about being up here for me personally. One is the amount of energy I have to exert to get up here, being a heavier guy, carrying enough stuff to have a nice comfortable evening up here. And so once I get up here, then I'll need a buffer time to kind of get that energy back, you know, have a snack like this, and then go out and start looking for dry wood. And that brings me to the other challenge. This area is pretty popular, not so much in the winter, but I don't know how many people actually camp up here. Looking around, it seems like there's a lot of wood, but finding dry wood that's burnable, that's going to keep me warm through an entire night, that might be another challenge. Now, in my head, I am envisioning going up over one more ridge and camping up even higher. That will get me a little bit more secluded. With that being said, there might be more wood up there because I don't think people go up there to camp. So the snow is really starting to come down now. I just need to do my next challenge to start a little fire. But first, I'm going to enjoy this hot chocolate. I think I'm going to mix in this chocolate element here and finish off my water. Kind of speed things up a little bit. Plus, I turned off my stove, so I don't want that water to get too cold. This stuff is really salty, but it's going to keep me warm and hydrated. Okay, let's see if we can get a fire going. I have one cotton ball left that is soaked in Vaseline from my last video. I can't believe how well this works as a fire starter. Now again, I don't know if this olive oil is going to be an accelerant, but we'll at least use it as a tray to keep my kindling up out of the snow. Okay, so I got some fibers from the bark and some bigger sticks. But we'll start with the fibers there. And we'll set that aside. See if we can ignite this. Again, I got my bushcraft knife and my ferro rod. Let's see what we can do. There we go. There we go. Okay. Dang. Really gonna have to work on my fire skills. I'm gonna give it one more shot before I wrap things up. But it's snowing pretty hard now. Okay, I didn't want to cheat, but I'm going to try one more thing before calling it quits. I really got to work on my fire starting skills. I'm gonna go home and brush up on those. It's about 4 o'clock and I need to get down because it's gonna get dark if I hang out up here any longer, and the snow's coming down. Just got to clean up my mess, make sure I'm not littering, and head down the trail. I think I'm gonna try snowshoeing. Oh, that's such a bummer. It's like starting a fire should be the #1 thing, but for some reason I just struggled. It's just the wet wood, really. Gotta do better at figuring that out, taking more time, being more patient, stuff like that. So I'm gonna practice a little bit, but until then, I'm just gonna head down this mountain, try not to get snowed in, and be safe. Also, it must be that I'm going downhill, but snowshoeing feels so much easier on this trail. I should have done it all the way up. Also, my feet were getting really cold. I love this gully through here. It's really pretty in the wintertime. In the summer, it makes you wish there was a nice little creek running down. I believe I've said this before about Hidden Valley. It's like the perfect place. It's secluded, it's hidden, there's plenty of cover, there's just no water. That's the problem. But man, I wish I would have done snowshoes coming up here. The only thing is it causes me to walk in a way that I don't normally walk, and so it does do a workout on my hips. But I'm not post-holing, I'm just cruising right down the mountain. So I'd love to hear it in the comments. What are some recommendations for getting a fire started? Was the wood just too dry? Was I not patient? I did only have one cotton ball, so the cotton ball trick didn't work really well. Neither did the sardine can, although I do feel like I have energy now from eating the sardines, so that's good. It's got some heat going on inside my body. But yeah, I'd love to hear any tips and tricks. I thought I knew what I was doing, so you know, if I didn't want to hear feedback, I wouldn't post this on the internet. But I'm gonna make my way down this mountain. Just kind of focus on getting down before it gets dark and reevaluate and see what it's gonna take for me to get to spend the night up here. And I hope that you all have faith in me to do that, because once I've hiked up here with all this gear and stuff, it feels like it is definitely doable as far as the exertion in getting up here. But that does it for this video. If you liked it, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button. Comment down below, what else would you do different? And of course, while you're down there, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Have a great rest of your day.